What's up, sons? It's Blind Rod with Son of a Tech once again, and today I have a little bit of news for you. It's been pretty FUD-worthy as of late in Western countries, with a pretty obvious concerted effort to target cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency mining. And that is starting off with Biden's Bitcoin banter 30% tax proposal. Now, he did also propose a 47% capital gains tax proposal and a 25% unliquidated capital gains tax, which is insane. But this one is surrounding Bitcoin tax. Joe Biden has proposed a 30% tax on Bitcoin mining in the United States, sparking debate among the crypto community. The U.S. Senate has also proposed a 1% wealth tax on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency holdings exceeding $500,000 US. Crypto enthusiasts and stakeholders are concerned about the potential impact on the industry, urging the administration to reconsider. The proposals have raised questions about the future of Bitcoin mining in the US, with some fearing a shift in the industry's landscape. The debate continues as stakeholders navigate the implications of these potential regulatory changes. If something like this happened, I would think that anybody that is rich in crypto would get the heck out of the United States, which obviously is not good for the United States economy. At least that's my thoughts and opinions on it initially. Let me know down in the comment section below. A 30% tax proposal on the actual mining process would mean that we would lose a lot of Bitcoin mining industry in the United States as well. And I really honestly do believe, based on the book Soft War, that it is important to have a lot of Bitcoin miners within your economy. This isn't just affecting the United States, as we do have some reports of crypto miners facing energy refusals in Canadian provinces. Manitoba is extending a moratorium on new power connections, and British Columbia is introducing legislation that could prohibit the provision of power to new miners. We're basically experiencing an attack on cryptocurrency mining, I think due to the fact that it does basically enable non-KYC exchange of the cryptocurrency. The Canadian province of Manitoba has extended a moratorium on new requests to the government-owned Manitoba Hydro Agency for electrical service for cryptocurrency operations. British Columbia had a similar suspension of service in place and has chosen a different but also restrictive path forward. The Manitoba pause extension applies to crypto miners' new requests and requests for electrical service which have not resulted in the execution of an agreement to construct infrastructure. In November of 2022, the provincial government paused electrical connections to crypto mining operations for 18 months. Now the pause will last through April 30th, 2026. At that time, the province plans to prepare a long-term solution, it said in an announcement, adding, quote, Manitoba Hydro continues to expect unprecedented demands for electricity from new or expanding cryptocurrency operations. That demand has the potential to drastically increase our total electrical load. In 2022, then CEO of Manitoba Hydro, Jay Gruel, said, quote, if we connected every cryptocurrency operator who's shown interest in the last 16 months, we'd increase our total electricity load by 4,600 megawatts. The organization's total capacity at that time was 6,100 megawatts. Hydro-Quebec proposed reducing electricity provision to crypto operations temporarily in November of 2022. New Brunswick banned the provision of electricity to new crypto operations in November of 2023. In December of 2022, British Columbia announced it would stop making connections to new crypto miners for 18 months. That decision impacted 21 projects. On April 11th, the BC government said it had introduced amendments to its Utilities Commissions Act to regulate electricity service to cryptocurrency miners. Provincial Energy Minister Josie Osborne said, quote, we're working with BC Hydro to ensure we have the electricity we need, and that includes regulating electricity service for energy-intensive cryptocurrency miners that create very few local jobs. The new amendments would make it possible for the BC government to prohibit, restrict, or regulate service to crypto miners. BC has some of the lowest commercial and industrial electricity rates in North America. Now, of course, my question to them right after this is, well, are you also regulating AI data centers because they have a similar load or employee count? And both, right? So if you're going to regulate against cryptocurrency miners, you have to regulate against data center and AI. And that is just the end of story. This isn't about energy consumption as a whole being just on cryptocurrency. It has to do with, at least in my humble opinion, specifically shutting down cryptocurrency from the very top. Should electricity be, decided upon the way you use it? That is my question to you guys. Should they be able to tell you what you can and can't do with your electricity or not? And it's pretty clear that they want to get people off of utilizing their own wallets. There was a public service announcement from the FBI in the United States, and they warn Americans against using cryptocurrency money transmitting services that are not registered as money services businesses, according to United States federal law, and do not adhere to anti-money laundering requirements. A few simple steps can prevent unintentional use of non-compliant services. For example, avoid cryptocurrency money transmitting services that do not collect know your customer information from customers when required. Of course, this goes against everything that Bitcoin stands for from the very get-go of the white paper back in 2008, where we are supposed to be able to transact peer-to-peer without the interference of governments or banks. And this is saying basically the opposite of that you should not participate within cryptocurrency unless the bank or institution requires your personal information, which is just a huge red flag from the very get-go. In fact, you can basically take this entire public service announcement from the FBI and consider it a list of things to not do, other than maybe a couple, right? So avoid using services that advertise themselves for illegal purposes. From a moral and ethical standpoint, I understand that. But from things like be cautious when using cryptocurrency services known to be used by criminals to launder their funds, well, that could be the entire network. Hell, that could be the entire fiat system from the very get-go. Anyways, if you want to check out more, you can check out more at www.ic3.gov. And I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions on it in the comment section below. Finally, as the United States and Canada try to basically bring down the iron hammer or fist on top of cryptocurrency, BRICS is replacing the US dollar with cryptocurrency for trade. So this is a danger, I think, according to, of course, after reading the soft war and all of that, this is a danger to the economies of the West because they are doing the exact opposite of this. And if economic trade flows into cryptocurrency, while everybody is banned in the West from using it, you will have basically hyperinflation of the Western currencies, and basically it's going to be bad. It's just going to be bad. According to a recent statement from the chairman of the Russian State Committee on the Financial Market, the BRICS bloc is working to replace the US dollar with cryptocurrency for trade. Aksakov? I don't know how to pronounce this one. Discuss the alliance's work to utilize digital assets in place of fiat currency for international transactions. The Economic Alliance has long embraced its de-dollarization initiatives along with the promotion of its local currencies. Subsequently, the development of digital currency solutions has been a priority since the arrival of its BRICS pay system. Now those efforts are set to carry the bloc toward a dollarless future. Throughout the last year, the BRICS bloc has embraced its opportunity to create a multipolar world. Its five-nation expansion effort enacted at its 2023 annual summit was one of the key pillars of that. We did cover that when it happened. However, so too is its commitment to further embrace of local currencies in unilateral trade dealings. Now the alliance is taking a clear step forward in that regard as BRICS bloc is seeking to replace the US dollar with cryptocurrency for international trade. Indeed, Russia stated that the bloc represents a serious channel to replace fiat currencies in international transactions. What makes the prospect of this all that more interesting for the collective is that they appear committed to developing their own central bank digital currency for which to substitute with fiat. Now, this is even scarier than just adopting Bitcoin or something along those lines, because a CBDC will tighten the control of the individuals that live within those areas. And I think that that is scarier to me than even what the US is doing, which is banning, of course, the US or the Bitcoin mining or making it difficult to mine Bitcoin and that sort of thing. I think that the CBDCs are even scarier. So the question is why is Russia building up a bunch of Bitcoin mining facilities? Of course, I'm sure the government has a bunch of control over that in general. Altogether, these projects should provide a clear opportunity for the BRICS bloc to continue to de-dollarize. Moreover, Russia Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Rybakov has recently discussed the development of new platforms for financial dealing. Specifically, these would support the presence of increased digital assets as opposed to fiat offerings. Rybakov discussed the option of creating a platform that would unite the financial systems of the BRICS members. What he called a BRICS bridge would require stablecoins or other digitized currency forms. This would integrate a clear way for the 10 BRICS countries to de-dollarize. However, it would also increase concern with the US dollar being absent from any international dealings with the alliance members and nations seeking to embrace such unilateral trade. And this has been a problem for the Western economies, I think, for quite some time. We've been talking about it, BRICS as a whole, for quite some time, and it definitely is concerning as we've seen a move away from the dollar over time, and that is, compounded by the fact that we are seeing, exchange for oil in Saudi Arabia for the Chinese currency, the yuan over there, as well as direct trade in the Russian currency, the ruble, or the rubles, there we go. So I think really if we're looking at this is less of a testament to maybe the US falling behind on cryptocurrency in general and more a warning of the possibility for the US dollar being worth less as it's used less, right? So every currency is basically has value based upon how much it's used. It's not even based on like anything like gold or anything, since we went off the gold standard, right? It's basically if you're being forced to buy oil or energy products with a certain currency, it's naturally going to drive the demand for that currency up, which is why the demand for the dollar has been held so high for so long. Of course, the US dollar is still backed by the US military, which will hold its value a little bit better for maybe a little bit longer, but it's just kind of a slow burn of frogs in a pot as far as the value of the US dollar goes. Compounding that fact with the inflation rates of the United States and the overprinting of the US dollar, it just compounds into basically a pretty interesting thing to pay attention to. And seeing the US is now trying to dissuade people from investing within cryptocurrency, it's pretty clear they need more people using the US dollar. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I will see you next Tuesday.